Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Let's begin straight away with our headlines. Cameroon's parliament has officially launched its March ordinary session, a landmark gathering that sees both the Senate and National Assembly convene to elect bureau members, address pressing issues like feminicide, and prepare for the historic hosting of the World Trade Organization Parliamentary Conference later this month, with government ministers including Prime Minister Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Ngute in attendance. 12 Cameroonian institutions will benefit from a new academic cooperation agreement signed between the Association of Private Higher Education Institutions of Cameroon and its Russian counterpart, aimed at strengthening international collaboration. The partnership, signed in Yaoundé this Tuesday, will promote student mobility, research exchanges and faculty development, with particular focus on joint research in tropical diseases and other priority fields. And we shall be taking a tour out of the country, where Madagascar is witnessing a major political shake-up following a decision by interim leader Michael Randrianirina to restructure the country's executive leadership, starting with the dismissal of the Prime Minister. These stories and more will be yours in a bit. Thanks once more for joining us. We begin the news at the Senate, as you heard in one of our lead stories. The March ordinary session of the Parliament has gone on the way at the Senate, with the eldest member of Upper House frowning seriously at the recent feminicide reported in the country, while calling for the empowerment of women and girls. Senator Rene Zingele reminded the senators of the place of women and youth in the current mandate of the head of state. The March ordinary session is dedicated to the election of the bureau, which the senators are looking forward to. But beside the election, this session will undoubtedly be a special one. With the approval of the President of the Republic, the Senate will host the World Trade Organization Parliamentary Conference from the 24th to the 25th of March 2026, alongside the Interministerial Conference of the same organization. It should be noted that this event is co-organized by the Inter-Parliamentary Union, the European Parliament and the Cameroon Parliament. This is a major event, as it is the very first international meeting organized by the Upper House. The opening ceremony was attended by government ministers led by the Prime Minister, Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Ngute. Let's now take a listen to Senator Okala Bilai Nicole, who comes back to the opening speech of the eldest senator and calls for laws to be voted to sanction perpetrators of gender-based violence. She is speaking in the following excerpt, carefully selected to us by Promise Akante, on the microphone of Elise Yanda.
We know that March is for the election of the Bureau of Senate. For the speech of the Doyen d'Âge, two things: youth and women. For the youth, he said what the President of the Republic said, His Excellency Paul Biya, that the youth have to know that they are our future. They are the one who will bring our country very far. So they have to have the confidence of the institution, because you know what important they are in our heart, in our country, and what they can do. For the women, you know, now they kill so many women in our country. What I can say is, I hope for us to make a law in that special action to put in our education, since in the from nursery to the university, to try to put in the mind of our country that it's two-pole, women and men, and the women is from where I can say, through the women that we can build our country. So I hope that we will make that work.
The National Assembly of Cameroon also kicks off its March session this Tuesday with lawmakers gathering at the Paul Biya's Glass House to elect bureau members and examine government actions. The 30-day session is expected to be a crucial shaping the country's legislative agenda. The opening session was presided by the oldest member of the House, Supo Malis. In the following report, compiled to us by Bertrand Tita and Elise Yanda.
In her opening address, the oldest member extended a warm welcome to all attendees, highlighting the significance of the session amidst the country's evolving political landscape. She noted that the session opens following the presidential election process of October 12, 2025 and the swearing-in of His Excellency Paul Biya as President of the Republic on November 6, 2025. The speech by the oldest member of the House was a call to responsibility, urging political parties to prepare their supporters for the upcoming elections likely to be postponed. The head of state's announcement of a slight adjustment to the electoral calendar has set the tone for a potentially lengthy process. The National Assembly's role in ensuring a calm climate ahead of the consultation is crucial. As a cornerstone of democracy, it must navigate the complex web of political interest to ensure the country's stability. After the post-election tension following the October 12, 2025 presidential election, Cameroon needs a calm climate ahead of the upcoming consultations. The Assembly's commitment to decentralization and socio-economic development was also highlighted.
We greatly appreciate the wordings of our oldest member, which is that of peace. And the fact that we are in an elective part of the National Assembly session, this session is meant for elections, we would have expected that in 6 months' time, as she said, elections may take place. So changing the whole people may be worthless for me.
Thanks to the notable progress made in decentralization in the country, municipalities have become, all things considered, real socio-economic development hubs in Cameroon. On the international front, the announcement of the 51st plenary session of the Assembly's Parlementaire de la Francophonie in July adds an important dimension to the country's activities. An organizing committee has been set up to prepare for the event, and Honorable Sopo Tut Malis invited all stakeholders to give their best to ensure its success. She wished the members fruitful deliberations and declared the session open.
And so, it's not easy to take up that role, and she did it marvelously. We didn't expect more from her, we didn't expect less from her, and so I would say it was just perfect.
This first ordinary session is very important because the first thing we have to do is to elect a new bureau, and then many bills are going to follow. And from the eldest member's speech, we should expect many bills that will touch the functioning of the country.
The ball is now in the court of the National Assembly to navigate the challenges ahead and ensure that Cameroon's democracy continues to grow from strength to strength. The session is a test of Cameroon's democratic majority. Will the Assembly rise to the challenge? The eyes of the nation are on them.
Still in connection to that story, the session is taking place amidst high public expectations, the control of government actions, the revision of electoral code, address on the economic hardship, amongst others, for discussions. It is in this light that Bertrand Tita and Elise Yanda sampled the opinion of some members of the House and put together the full report.
Following the protocol opening ceremony, members of the National Assembly shared their expectations for the session. Some lawmakers hinted at significant changes to the electoral code, while others expressed hope for bills aimed at improving the living conditions of Cameroonians.
We don't have roads, we don't have electricity. I will cry out to those who are responsible, who will be at the assembly, and the quarters that something be done. Also in my area, there is some trouble. A village was completely burned down by people who came in from a neighboring country, and we expect that something be done. The states
just like most of my colleagues and most Cameroonians, because the head of state already outlined this speech on the 10th of February, and so we are just remaining hopeful, and we MPs are ready to work on any bills that will come in to touch on the constitution.
Some said they are expecting a comprehensive review of the electoral code to ensure transparency and fairness in future elections. Others expressed willingness, see concrete actions and policies that will improve the lives of all citizens.
So we are looking forward to see if any projects will be sent for us to look into it and see how useful it will be for the state.
The session will also focus on examining government actions, with lawmakers scrutinizing the executive's performance and holding them accountable for their commitments.
This is the first ordinary session of the year, and we have government action to control. The last financial year just ended, and there are many uncompleted projects. Some were even abandoned. Some were started and left halfway. And so the government bench will have to answer questions from members of parliament.
The National Assembly will be electing a speaker, 5 vice presidents, 4 quaestors and 12 secretaries to oversee the bureau. The outcome of this election is expected to shape the tone of the session and influence the legislative agenda.
To put in place the new bureau very quickly, because we usually waste a lot of time by waiting the new bureau. If we didn't have it, we cannot go to do our job as member of parliament. So from today, we think by tomorrow, they will call us to make our bureau.
As the session gets underway, stakeholders are watching closely, eager to see how lawmakers will navigate the complex web of politics and governance in Cameroon. With elections expected later this session, the stakes are high and the expectations are palpable.
Many reforms have been announced, so some of them need legislative modification. So now what we are waiting for is this reform, the project of this reform, because
the March session is a critical opportunity for the National Assembly to demonstrate its commitment to democratic principles and responsive governance. The next 30 days will be telling.
We now talk education. As you heard in one of our lead stories, Cameroon and Russia have signed a landmark cooperation agreement to transform the academic landscape between the two nations. The partnership between the Association of Private Higher Education Institutions of Cameroon and its Russian counterpart, led by its ambassador Georgi Todua, aims to build a robust framework for professional development. Madoshe Kwiate and Melanie Nimbo witnessed the signing of this agreement and put together the full report.
In a significant step for bilateral relations, a landmark cooperation agreement has been signed between the Association of Private Higher Education Institutions of Cameroon and its Russian counterpart. The ceremony, which took place in Yaoundé, marks the beginning of a strategic partnership aimed at transforming the academic landscape between the two nations.
This partnership agreement that has been commenced today between the universities of Russia, the Federal Republic of Russia, and some chosen Cameroon universities, amongst which the Bilingual Sub-Regional University Institute Agenda Academy it's a partnership agreement that is going to be very vast in its application. We have, amongst others, research, exchange programs in research. We have exchange programs for students that shall be going to Russia, and Russian students that shall also be coming to Cameroon.
The agreement, praised by the Russian ambassador to Cameroon for its focus on future development, emphasizes the critical role of training. By linking Cameroonian institutions with experienced Russian universities such as the Patrice Lumumba University, the pact aims to build a robust framework for professional development.
Which we have some development programs that will permit some of our lecturers to get what they don't have here, and we also have the possibilities of some of the Russian universities and students to come here for what they don't have in Russia. I take, for example, research programs in tropical diseases and in other domains. So it's going to be a vast program. It all depends on the paths that shall be articulated at each point in time. But
under the themes of the initial action plans, the collaboration will focus on the 3 core pillars: research, exchange programs, student mobility, and faculty development initiatives. Specific attention will be given to joint research in high priority domains, including the study of tropical disease, allowing both nations to pool expertise for mutual benefit. 12 Cameroonian institutions are poised to benefit from the first phase of the project. These diverse groups represent a wide cross-section of private higher education in the country.
Of action includes stages that are going to pass through the Presidency of the Republic, because following the Cameroon law concerning partnership agreements that are supposed to be signed between Cameroon universities and foreign universities, the Presidency of the Republic is supposed to give its authorization, its visa, its accord. And this was just the first stage. It was like the manifestation of interest for that activity. And after that, the Cameroon government is going to give its accord, and we shall go to Russia to finalize the agreement.
The finalized text must now receive approved from the Presidency of the Republic before being formally ratified in Russia. Once implemented, the agreement is expected to significantly enhance academic exchanges, offering Cameroonian students and lecturers new opportunities for international exposure and specialized training.
Let's take you back to the celebration of the 41st International Women's Day in the southwest region of the country, where the Mbongo Square in Boya, chief town of the southwest region, was abuzz with excitement as women from all walks of life gathered on Sunday, March 8, 2026 to celebrate the International Women's Day. The event, presided over by the regional delegate of Women's Empowerment and the family, Lucia Diago de Pita, was a vibrant display of solidarity, resilience, and determination. Bechantita takes us to Boya in the following report.
After the event, the regional delegate of Women Empowerment and the family urged women to step forward and take on leadership roles, emphasizing the importance of their contributions to nation building and peace advocacy.
Because a woman is a nation builder. Because if a woman is behind, so many things will go wrong. Women who are elitists, who are in big places or major places, or working class women, have to lead the other grassroots women, because they are the ones who are well learned and schooled about the rights of women. And right now, we are those who are already in power places, like the justice, those of the justice, those of legal department, those of women's empowerment, social affairs, and all those that are to fight for the women. So
the event was graced by the presence of the governor of the Southwest region, Bernard Okala Bilai, who reaffirmed his commitment to supporting women's empowerment initiatives through his presence. The atmosphere was electric as the governor and other dignitaries watched the spectacular march past by women from various sectors, including the military. Highlight of the event was the presence of a Nigerian movie star, Regina Daniel, who thrilled the crowd with the infectious energy and inspiring march. The march past by women in military uniform was a poignant moment, showcasing their strength and dedication to serving their country. Women turned out in large numbers, donning their finest attire to celebrate their resilience and achievements.
that is why we are supposed to continue advocating for the population of the other women who are ignorant, to make them understand the law, to teach them their rights and how they can take action in case of situations that come up to meet them, like the gender-based violence and many other things that are coming their way.
The air was filled with songs and dances and laughter as they celebrated the power of women and the difference they make in their communities.
And if you're just joining us, it is the 6 p.m. news over Camdis Television. Let's now take you beyond our borders to get updates of what make news. First stop will be in Madagascar. As you heard in one of our lead stories, Madagascar is witnessing a major political shake-up following a decision by interim leader Mike Randrianirina to restructure the country's executive leadership, starting with the Prime Minister. Second stop will be in Ghana and then the UN. These stories are compiled in the full report. Madagascar's President Mike Randrianirina has dissolved the entire government and dismissed the Prime Minister, according to an official statement released on Monday. The decision comes amid rising political tensions and increasing pressure from youth movements, criticizing the government's management of the country and demanding reforms and more inclusive governance, as Randrianirina has been serving as interim leader since the former president fled following protests linked to water and electricity shortages. Meanwhile, authorities say a new prime minister will be appointed in accordance with the country's constitution. At a ceremony held in Accra, Ghana, several individuals from the African diaspora officially became Ghanaian citizens after taking the oath of allegiance. The initiative reflects Ghana's continued efforts to reconnect with descendants of Africans dispersed during the transatlantic slave trade, promoting cultural ties and future cooperation. Officials say the program has already granted citizenship to about 1,000 people over the past decade, though new applications were recently suspended temporarily while authorities work to improve the process. The United States on Monday opened the 70th session of the Commission on the Status of Women, with Secretary General Antonio Guterres emphasizing that achieving gender equality remains a major global challenge. The session focuses on improving women and girls' access to justice by promoting fair legal systems and eliminating discriminatory laws and barriers. Guterres also highlighted that despite progress driven by generations of activists, women worldwide still enjoy fewer legal rights than men and remain underrepresented in peace processes. UN Women Executive Director Sima Bohaus also warned that ongoing conflicts continue to worsen gender inequality and called for renewed commitment to dialogue and diplomacy. And it is with that news out of the country, ladies and gentlemen, that we set the curtains to this edition of our 6 p.m. news over Camdis Television. It was a pleasure staying with you, but do not go nowhere. Up next is Selak Chi, a presentation of Tabby Clarkson. Stay tuned.